Oh shit, it's gonna fall. Please don't fall. Hey everybody, what's going on? So, coming to you from the back of the ambulance today to do a very brief video and to talk about what's been going on since my last video. So, I have not been doing these every week like I planned to because I've been very busy. I'm starting a new job. I relocated to a new area. And the videos are going to come, but they're going to be slower. You know, probably a couple weeks apart or something like that. Anyways, today we're going to talk very briefly about heat emergencies or a heat stroke. Anything heat-based related is going to be happening when it's warm outside, or if you're exposed to heat. For example, if you're working in a very warm environment, or if you're in a sauna for too long. Bottom line is here, you're overheating. Your body can't dissipate the heat fast enough. So what happens is you either pass out, you feel lightheaded, you feel like you're going to pass out, or one of these things. If someone says, I'm feeling lightheaded, I'm feeling weak, or they pass out, if they're passed out on the ground, the first thing you want to do is evaluate them, ensure that they have a pulse and they're breathing. If they don't have a pulse and they're not breathing, you want to start CPR, a video which I did previously. If they do have a pulse and they're breathing, you want to start actively cooling the body. Actively cooling the body first involves removing the person from the source of the heat. So if they work in a very hot environment, removing them from there. If they're in a sauna, pulling them out of the sauna. If they're out in the middle of the park and they're in the sun, removing them from the sun. So you want to remove them from the source of the heat. Similarly, in wintertime, how the ground can pull heat away from the body, in the summertime, the heat can the ground can transfer heat to the body, especially if you're on an asphalt or a concrete-based surface, or metal, or wood. Anything that is hotter than the body, the heat's going to naturally move from the hotter surface to the cooler surface. So you want to try to create a layer of protection between the patient and the element also, if they're outside. After doing that, you know, you reevaluate your patients, make sure they still have a pulse, or your patient or whoever you're helping. Oh, they're your patient. Reevaluate them, ensure they have a pulse and all that. They don't have a pulse and they're not breathing. Again, CPR. Now, before you do any of this, make sure you call 911 and have an ambulance and route to your location, because at the end of the day, you need an ambulance to help you, even though you'll be helping this patient. I keep seeing people in that damn little glass there, and it's freaking me out. Anyways, so we remove the individual from the source of the heat. They're outside. The next thing, they're inside or away from the heat. The next thing you want to do is you want to remove any thick layer of clothing. So if they have anything insulating their body, if they have what I have on right now, like one shirt and a t-shirt, that's probably fine. But taking the shirt off would be a little bit better. If they have a hoodie or a jacket on, you want to remove that. After you remove any layer of insulating clothing, you want to actively cool the body. You can actively cool the body in many ways, but the best way to do it is with ice pack or ice bags. Ice bags are literally bags of ice. You guys go in your refrigerator, fill a bag with ice, and use that. You put those bags of ice or ice pack at parts of the body where major blood vessels run close to the layer of the skin. So along the sides of the neck, along the groin, inner groin area, back of the knees, you know, along the bottom of the arms if you want. That's not one of the best places, but it's a place to put it. And then anywhere else over the body is fine after you hit those major spots. Now, you're going to be rapidly dropping the core temperature of the body. When you do this, a lot of things can happen, especially if the patient has any underlying conditions. So that's why it's very, 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 very important that you have an ambulance coming to you before or while you're doing this. Also, be very careful with rags that are soaked in water. A lot of people soak rags in water and drape it over the faces of people. Understand that when you soak a rag in water, you're reducing the ability for air to go through it. Putting that over the face of someone who is not breathing adequately will probably cause them to have difficulty breathing, right? So if you're going to be using rags, soak it and put it around the neck, not over the face. You can put it over the forehead, along the neck, but not over the face. If you plan on using water to actively cool somebody, don't throw water on them that's freezing cold. You want to actively cool them, but gradually do it. Not, you know, one flash freeze and you're going to cause more issues like that. That's about it for this video. It's very simple. If somebody's overheating, cool them down actively. A really good thing is bringing them into an AC, an air-conditioned room or building, like we're in right now. I'm in an ambulance at a standby for a park, and I literally close the doors and crank the AC up. So if somebody's having a heat emergency, the first thing I'm gonna do is bring them in the ambulance, and it's gonna be a cooler environment, so that's gonna actively cool them down. All right, if you have any questions about cooling somebody down or heat emergencies, post it in the comments. Call me, text me, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want to do, but get the information you need to properly help somebody. that's about it for this video. Like I said, the videos coming now will be slower. It won't be every week. It won't be every 2 weeks. It'll be very sporadic. So I will see you when I see you. Have a good day and stay safe.